Welcome to the OSGeo Annual General Meeting for 2022. OSGeo is a non-for-profit software foundation. We provide our projects with financial, organizational, and legal support. We are promoting global adoption of open-source geospatial technology, and we are driven by volunteers. We have a group of passionate members from around the world. The OSGeo members and partners are working together in order to promote and support open source, the collaborative approach to software development. Furthermore, we support open data, open standards, open education, and open science.
On behalf of everyone at OSGeo, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of our sponsors. Platinum sponsor, GeoCat. Platinum sponsor, OpenGIS. Platinum sponsor, Camp to Camp. Gold sponsors, Aston Technology, Ware Group, Geo Solutions. Silver sponsors, Map Gears, Electronic Chart Center, Terrestris. Bronze sponsors, Mammoth Geospatial, Kaplan Open Source, Bureau for Geoinformatic Maximum, How to Map Chartwell. OSGeo Status Overview. Membership. 497 charter members, 15 were elected on 2021. 1,704 members registered on the website. 36,700 unique subscribers to the mailing lists.
Sponsors are always welcome to support our goals. We have an active sponsor program that recognizes financial support across activities, projects, and events. If you would like to sponsor us, please make contact with the OSGeo board. If you are already supporting a project or an event, please let us know and we will add you to the appropriate sponsor category.
OSGeo has 21 projects, 1 heritage project, 28 community projects. There is no new local chapter. OSGeo reports. We will have a report from the board of directors. Tom, Angelos, Michael, Kuldrina, Vicky, Michelle, Adam, Marco, and Rajat. Where officers are President Angelos, Vice Presidents Michelle, Rajat, and Vicky, Treasurer Michael, Secretary Astrid. We will also hear a report from the Chief Returning Officer in charge of the elections, and reports from the OSGeo committees and OSGeo projects. We will hear the annual report from the Board of Directors.
The OSGeo board is working to support the OSGeo community. The board is holding regular meetings on the last Monday of every month. All the meeting minutes are available on the OSGeo wiki. We are now mostly using Jitsi OSGeo board channel to hold face-to-face meetings instead of IRC. A GITA issue tracker is used to track board action items. All motions and decisions take place now on Lumio.
OGC collaboration. The big news this year is we've signed the updated memorandum of understanding with OGC. That was done in January. So we had a previous MOU, We went through an update exercise starting with some discussions in Bucharest in 2019, and at long last, we have the completed MOU with some exciting news for the community. So we have OGC has provided OSGeo with an associate membership at this point, which means there's no limit on the number of participating members. Before we had, I think, 5 or 6 slots. Now there's no limit, which is awesome for our community. So there's no limit to our participation. The membership means that you're representing OSGO proper at OGC events and in OGC working groups. We're allowed to obviously participate in the standards working groups as well as the domain working groups, as well as pilots, test beds, and other interoperability um, activities. This includes applying for funding for test beds, for example. So opening up new avenues for the OSGO community to sort of provide feedback and participate in the standards development process with OGC. So this is fantastic news, and we've created an OGC committee to help move this whole new way of working with OGC, to help move that forward. We're planning a kickoff meeting of this committee in the fall. If you'd like to be part of that committee, please get in touch, and we'll add you to our kickoff meeting. The other big thing in the last 12 months is we had the second joint code sprint between OSGeo, OGC, and the Apache Software Foundation. That was in March 2022. That was a successful event. So we'd like to thank everybody for their participation. We have another event planned, a third collaborative sprint, joint sprint, planned for Q1 of 2023. So I think our relationship and our collaboration with OGC is, again, natural, healthy, and evolving, and looking forward to what we can accomplish next year.
Hello, here comes the secretary report. I'm not in the board anymore since the last election, but I'm still the OSGeo secretary. And I have less work to do as the board works on some of the secretary work on themselves. And the thing that I do is to administrate the contributor license agreements. So I received 6 agreements in the last year for GeoNode, GeoServer, and GeoTools. And the next steps that I would like to do is to reach out to our project officers and local chapters to check their contact points.
OSGeo receives budget applications for the next year starting from December until mid-January. Projects while incubation should apply for budget to the incubation committee. The budget page of the wiki shows all the details of the last year's budget, how much and where it was used, and the budget of the current year. Any questions regarding budget, please address to the board. Consult the financial guidance located on the OSGeo website.
Hi, this is Josh speaking, reporting on the Chief Returning Office activities. This role was performed by myself and Gisela in 2021. We have 4 slides. The first slide is about onboarding new OSGU members through our charter member election. New 15 charter members were nominated, validated, and finally accepted by the board in 2021. 15 nominees means that the community is still alive and willing to grow. Creating a profile is still a problem for the nominees, but very important to let us know a little bit more about their commitment to OSGU principles and their activities. The second slide is about our annual renovation of the board. For the board election, we had 5 positions available and 6 members nominated. The participation was not bad, about 65%, but not as good as we'd like. The third slide has some statistical data about these processes. The participation these last years haven't changed too much. The fourth and last slide has a very important reminder. Please check that you have a profile page in our not so new website with a valid email address. And finally, since Anne is leaving the role as Scraw, I would personally like to say thank you to Anne. It was a pleasure to work with her. And regards to all, and please enjoy Phosphor G 2022.
OSGeo conferences, face-to-face and online conferences, from September 2021 to August 2022, and plans for the future.
Phosphor-G 2022 was held in Firenze for the first time in Italy, and the Italian community is really proud to have been able to organize it. Participation was really good, with more than 1,000 people registered online and on site. More than 300 presentations, 40 workshops, and several side events were held during the week. The sponsorship campaign went very well, with more than 30 sponsors and several partners. But the thing we are more happy about is that we managed to organize side events with several entities very close to OSGeo. For example, OSM with the State of the Map conference, OT and the UMappers. Finally, I would like to thank all the members of the flock, the volunteers, and the staff of AIM group, of the Convention Bureau of Firenze, and the Firenze Fiera staff. Thanks to them, the organization was a real success.
Hi, I'm Baswer, Chair of Phosphor-G 2023.
And I'm Gresa, part of the local organizing committee.
We are very excited to announce that the 2023 Free and Open Source for Geospatial Conference, Phosphor-G, will be hosted by FLOSC in Prizren, Kosovo. This annual event is one of the largest global meetings on geospatial software of the year. It is organized by the Open Source Geospatial Foundation.
Our team has already started working to live up to Kosovo's hospitality and bring together the Phosphor-G community in a city that is small but has a very, very big heart and a big cultural scene.
Besides facilitating workshops, lectures, networking opportunities, and knowledge exchange, we are also planning for loads of parties and fun events to make sure that apart from growing the open source community, will get to have fun and enjoy the spirit of Prizren.
We welcome you here next year and cheers to that.
Cheers.
Other. State of the Map. QGIS Contributors Meeting. United Nations GGIM 12th Session. iGrass 2022. OGC Member Meeting. ISPRS Congress 2022. QGIS Open Day. OSGeo Twin Cities. PhosGIS 2022 Marburg. Geospatial Dev Room. State of the Map Africa. PostGIS Day. Pista NGMAPA 2021 Philippines. Phosphor-G State of the Map Oceania 2021. Phosphor-G Korea 2021. Phosphor-G NL 2021. Phosphor-G Suomi. Phosphor-G Asia 2021. Phosphor-G Italy 2021. OSGeo Community Sprints. If you are organizing an OSGeo Community Sprint, please don't forget to publish it on the OSGeo website. Bolsena Code Sprint. Joint OGC, OSGeo, ASF, Code Sprint. Reports from OSGeo committees. OSGeo committees. From the committees pages, you can find the missions, names of the people involved, and links to the working documents. Interested parties are encouraged to join committees' mailing lists, contribute, and potentially formally join the committees. Committees meet on IRC, conference calls, or operate by emailing lists. Let's listen to the reports of our OSGeo committees. Code of Conduct Committee. OSGeo welcomes and encourages participation by everyone. We are committed to being a community that everyone feels good about joining, and we will always work to treat everyone well. No matter how you identify yourself or how others perceive you, we welcome you. We strive to be open, be empathetic, welcoming, friendly, and patient. Be collaborative, be inquisitive, be careful in the words that we choose, be concise, step down considerately. Harassment and other exclusionary behavior are not acceptable. All OSGeo projects and events should reference the Code of Conduct.
Hello everybody, this is the report for the Open Geoscience Committee. My name is Peter Lowe. As in previous years, we supported again the Data Help Desk event at the annual General Assembly of the European Geoscience Union, EGU. Also, we do trend monitoring regarding the ongoing adoption of persistent digital object identifiers across OSGeo. Since 2018, OSGeo projects have started to use DOI to enable scientific citation of software releases. In the last year, this trend has significantly increased, with currently 19 projects having registered DOI and more than half of the graduated OSGeo projects now providing DOI. DOI have been introduced to OSGeo in 2013 to reference Phosphor-G conference videos. Since then, over 930 hours of video have become available. That's over 39 days of Phosphor-G videos. Thank you so much.
The System Administration Committee manages all the OSGeo servers and services. Most recently, we set up two new servers, OSGeo 8 and OSGeo 9, which were donated by the OpenStreetMap Foundation. These servers serve as hosts for Linux containers and virtual machines to be used by projects and services. This year, we also split out download.osgeo.org into two parts. Upload.osgeo.org, which is strictly used for uploading artifacts, and then there's download.osgeo.org, which is strictly used for downloading OSGeo artifacts and is distributed across several servers to distribute the bandwidth load and improve user experience. This year, we started a new initiative to donate money back to infrastructure projects that we rely on and that we feel are underfunded. Projects that we have distributed money to are Weblate, Pretalks, Gitty, Jitsi, and Matrix. We also set up Weblate, and this is a document translation service which is started to be used by the Posters Project, the GRASS Project, the PG Routing Project, the GeoServer Project. Anybody with an LDAP account can utilize this service. In addition, we have Pretalk service, which is a service that is used to collect conference talks and also to allow for public voting. It has been used in the Phosphor-G 2022 and is planned for Oceania. If you would like to use any of these services or you need a virtual machine for a project, please submit a request to track.osgeo.org/osgeo with details of your requirements, operating system, how much memory and how much disk that you would need.
Hello, this is Enoch speaking on behalf of the marketing committee and team. As usual, we continued our regular monthly last Friday meetings at 14 hours UTC. We continued some outreach activities in regards to a podcast, and also community members also doing podcasts to support OSGeo and Phos4G goals at large from the Mapscaping podcast, which some of you might have listened to already. And this year we also plan to have a couple of series with projects and community projects as well. Also, the Geomo podcast, and we have also featured on the Just Specially Africa podcast with the OSGeo Live project. On social media as well, our activities continues from Twitter to YouTube. Notwithstanding, there's still less outreach work being done, and then we are still here. We are around to help with your marketing ideas, or if outreach ideas, and also if you have ideas to better support us on how we can reach out to the world and everyone at large. We are happy to hear from you. Kindly contact us, send an email to the mailing list, and also we are looking forward to having new faces and new members join us at the marketing committee. So you are welcome to join us, and also you can pass by the booth as well to have a chat and see how we can continue this good work together. Also, we have a shop now on Redbubble where you can buy some goodies and get some Phos4G goodies for yourself. Also, check it out. And also, we have we have a booth at State of the Map conference, which is happening here too in Firenze, and also our booth is at Phos4G. Always welcome. Please pass by, visit us. We have a lot of goodies for you that you can use for outreach activities in your respective countries. And for those who have not joined us too, we are always happy to hear from you about your outreach activities and how we can support you. Thank you, and enjoy.
Good day. So for Geo for All, we are still growing at a good pace. We have over 140 labs globally. And if you are one of them, please have a look at the information on the website. And if you need any updates, please do let us know so that we can keep the information updated. Then the newsletter is quite growing and very successful. There's 12 editions per year. And if you have any new events, etc., please do submit them so that we can share them with the larger community. Then in late 2021, we did the Pichu Research Student Competition, where we had submissions from quite a number of continents and winners from South America, North America, Europe, and Africa, and I think Asia as well. So it was quite good coverage. The categories were English, Spanish, promising tools, and open mapping. I also just want to say thank you to the people that helped to judge all the submissions and give their feedback and time for this. Then in 2022, beginning of the year, we did a short student conference where the winners from the competition were able to present their work, and that video is also available on our YouTube. Then lastly, we did sponsor some prizes for the hackathon that took place in Pakistan that was arranged by one of our labs as well. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sergio from Geo for Iberoamerica. We are the section of Geo for All for Spanish and Portuguese speakers. We are over 30 laboratories all over Latin America, Spain, and Portugal. We collaborate with the Geo for All newsletter, including its translation into Spanish. We are involved in many training activities and projects. I would like to mention particularly GeoLibero, that is a network of researchers from universities and institutes from 12 countries. In the past December, we organized the second GeoLibero conference here in Uruguay. Our projects include the development of a diploma in pre-geomatics for Spanish and Portuguese speakers and a research on the use of geographic information technologies in tertiary education. We are now in the middle of the 5th edition of the course contest projects with students in Heavy Patrol. This year, it's international with participants from Mexico, Colombia, and Uruguay. Thank you, that's all.
Here with the report from the UN Committee for the OSGeo AGM. This committee is involved in the UN OpenGIS initiative, for which you see the URL on this slide. Maria and I, as Rena, represent OSGeo and Geo4All respectively on the UN OpenGIS Strategic Board. UN OpenGIS meets every month. It has 5 working groups that work on different aspects related to developing open source GIS for UN operations, namely Working Group 1 on the hybrid GIS infrastructure, Working Group 2 on capacity building. This group is co-chaired by Maria, and through this working group, QGIS and POSTGIS training is presented to UN employees. Working Group 3 focuses on geoanalysis, Working Group 4 on field data collection, and Working Group 5 on geo-artificial intelligence.
Jody Garnett here, checking in for the Incubation Committee. The Incubation Committee is one of the key outreach efforts for OSGeo, working with the development teams and helping them do open source and learn the ropes of how we do everything at OSGeo. The Incubation Committee's had a bit of a rough year with folks running out of steam. We're down to like 10 members, and I'd like to thank some real champions that have taken part, such as Bruce Bannerman, for their service. The key message we do on the Incubation Committee is how projects can join OSGeo. And the difficulty has been folks just being sent in our direction without kind of background that they need to create a website first or join the community program put on by the OSGeo board. And incubation is kind of really the last step once projects are more thoroughly established. We did request an incubation budget, but so far there's been no requests made from our incubating projects to make use of those funds. For our projects that are in incubation, it's mostly been static, except for a real champion, PyGeo API, which joined the incubation program in October. Or November, and is actually looks to be in position to graduate here in August. So a real champion effort by the PyGeo API team, kind of showing folks how it's done. We've got a couple incubation applications. PyGeo API joined us, of course, and PG Routing is looking to join the incubation program with Angelos' mentor, which is really nice. We also look after kind of a little bit of the community projects program done by the OSGeo board, and we've had some real kind of serious challenges. So last year at the AGM, we asked the crucial question, can OSGeo support kind of the open source platform idea? So things like WordPress, where you can choose the technology and then choose the cloud provider that is going to run it for you. And it just went back and forth for months and months and months, trying to get the GIS collective project team to talk to the board. And eventually we got back the answer that no, OSGeo doesn't want to work that way. So the answer is to package the technology as a framework, which isn't really satisfying, but it's what we're going to work with. We've got a couple projects that are kind of static. The last like 3 years, I've said, "Hey, Awesome and Mapfish are inactive," but so far the OSGeo board hasn't taken them out of the picture. So they're still inactive. They still should be removed. We've had no successful community applications, community project applications this year. The GIS collective, as I mentioned, is blocked, kind of going back and forth with the board, and a little bit of a culture clash. Rather than signing up as a person, they were trying to sign up as a company, and that's not how we work here. Yeah, just a couple other projects, GIS Water, Master Portal, QField. They're all stuck on that first step of getting an OSGeo OSGeo ID and creating a web page before they can join the community project program. So yeah, thanks everyone. Please, we're accepting volunteers. Come help make OSGeo a friendly place to be.
Reports from OSGeo projects. Classification. Content management systems. Desktop applications.
Hi, this is Tim. I live in Portugal and I use QGIS.
My name is Siabileti Ludi. I'm from South Africa and I use QGIS to introduce GIS to the geography classroom.
My name is Taras. I'm from Ukraine and I use QGIS for developing and testing QGIS plugins.
My name is Samuel Mwakisambwe. I'm from Tanzania. I use QGIS for analysis of spatial information.
I am Hans van der Kwast from the Netherlands. I use QGIS for hydrological applications.
My name is Zaki. I'm from Indonesia. I use QGIS for managing raw data and creating test data for farm geographic information system.
Hi, I'm Anita Krasa and I use QGIS if I want to make serious maps.
My name is Ofane. I'm from Madagascar. I mostly use QGIS for managing databases like importing or exporting GIS data.
Hi, I'm Amy and I'm from South Africa. I use QGIS to make beautiful cartography.
Hello everyone. During the last year, the GRASS GIS team had released the long-awaited GRASS version 8, which finally drops the startup screen and facilitates data management with several context menu actions in the data catalog. We have also released GRASS GIS version 8.2 lately with all the improvements developed by Google Summer of Code students from last year, namely the single window GUI, a new GRASS Jupyter package, and parallelization of raster modules. We have also collaborated with the R Spatial community to update the RGRASS interface. We have offered 2 student mini grants with great results, and we have moved translations to Weblate, which automatically creates pull requests against the main repo, which makes it super easy to translate for GrassGIS project. Thank you.
Geospatial libraries.
The GEOS project enjoyed a number of achievements this past year. First, we now have a real website called libgeos.org, which uses the Hugo templating engine, and it includes API documentation, FAQs, general community information. In October 2021, we released GEOS 3.10, and 3.10 introduced a number of new functions, but most importantly, it introduced great speed improvements for overlay and intersection and buffering and geometry conversions. It also includes a new command line tool called GEOS op, which allows you to quickly test GEOS functions in a command line. GEOS 3.10 also standardized on CMake. So CMake is now moving forward the only build system that we support. This simplifies our debugging of various build issues, which was taking a lot of our time. In July 2022, GEOS 3.11 was introduced, and that focused on new functions concave hull, which are exposed in the upcoming PostGIS, as well as numerous other functions. It also improved the performance of union over and intersection overlay operations and fixed numerous bug reports since 3.10. We also have new funding, which GDAL graciously rerouted from their NumFocus funding to support GEOS maintenance, such as pull requests and just general bug fixing that Dan Baston has been doing.
Hello, here's a quick update for GDAL. Over the course of last year, we have released 2 feature versions. GDAL 3.4 adds a new one driver for the dark cloud-oriented multi-dimensional format, and another one exposing items from stack catalogs as virtual mosaics. We have added support for storing dataset coordinate epochs to allow for high accuracy coordinate transformations. GDAL 3.5 has been released this May and adds 2 new vector drivers for the columnar-oriented parquet and arrow formats with support for their geospatial extensions. But the main topic of work for this version has been the addition of the CMake build system that will unify and replace the 2 existing ones. We continue to release bug fix versions of the last stable release every 2 months. And GDAL 3.6 is planned for this November, and one major highlight for this version will be built-in fully open source write support for the S3 file geodatabase format. Last year I mentioned the launch of a sponsorship program to provide the project with funds for all maintenance related tasks. This is working well and has enabled the project to fund 2 part-time co-maintainers, and part of funds have also been redirected to other OSGeo projects such as Proj and GEOS. Thanks.
Spatial databases.
The recent highlights of the PostGIS project. We recently deployed a new website built using the Hugo template. It's much the same structure as our old, but instead of using PHP, it's using the Hugo templating engine. Although not new, we have a new project called Docker PostGIS, which is very popular, and it's a community-driven Docker project that provides production-ready images for PostGIS, and also it follows our development branches, so provides builds for users who want to try out not yet released features of PostGIS. In PostGIS 3.2, which we released in December 2021, we introduced several new raster functions and several vector functions. In the upcoming PostGIS 3.3, We have improved GIST index build performance, which leverages Postgres 15, and it should result in index build that's 3 times faster than older versions. Also, it takes advantage of new GEOS features such as the native concave hull introduced in GEOS 3.11 and constrained triangulation. Introduces a new function called ST letters, which is useful for generating dummy features shaped like letters. Here are some examples that use it, along with new functions that it exposes. So, for example, the convex hull in that CH, the new ST concave hull with points. So that actually uses the ST letters, the generated points, and the ST concave hull. And then the triangulated polygon. In addition to those, there's continuing topology improvements, utility for importing and exporting topologies into PostGIS. One breaking change we introduced is our WKT output for multipoint now follows the ISO conforming standard, which means that it has a parentheses around each set of points now. So the output is different, but the input we accept both ISO and the non-ISO. We also introduce numerous SF-SIGO functions, ST3D convex hull, aggregated 3D union, and alpha shapes. The alpha shapes requires SF-SIGO 1.4.1 or above. In addition to the new successes, we also have more challenges. Improving upgrades, and those upgrade scripts are increasing. Dealing with old dependencies and making sure that we can support both new dependencies and old dependencies. And more recently, we have more security concerns. A lot of our PostGIS users deploy on database as a service platform. The security settings there allow regular users install PostGIS, which introduces some security concerns because when you're installing, the permissions are elevated. So we've had to focus more on security this year. Some of that is being funded by Amazon.
Web mapping.
Hi, my name is Thorsten Friebe and I'm one of the TMC members of the Degree project. I will give you a short update of the project. The Degree project is a long-standing reference implementation of more than 18 OGC standards with focus on GML and spatial services such as WMS and WFS. During the past year, we have released more than 10 bug fix versions of the 3.4 line. The version 3.430 successfully passed OGC compliance tests in May 2022. During the community sprint this year in May, we have prepared the new version line for Degree 3.5, which comes with significant changes such as support for Java 11 and a lot of other improvements. The project provides also an implementation of the OGC API feature standard. With the new version 3.5 available, the community support for the 3.4 line will reach its end most likely by the end of this year. Besides the new features and bug fixes, the build infrastructure has been updated to support a better versioning of the XML schema files and also using more up-to-date versions of the tools used for building Degree. For OSGeo Live 15, we have upgraded Degree to the most recent version 3.4.32. The plan for next year is to catch up with the Java LTS versions and to support Java 17 and Tomcat 10.1 as well. And better automated testing environment based on OGC Team Engine is still needed. Yeah, that's it for this year. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hi everyone, this is Andreas from the Open Layers project. Since our last report, we had several releases. The last was 6.15.1 in July, and we have an upcoming 7.0 release in August, which will add vector rendering using WebGL for lines and polygons. For points, we already do have a solution. Our community has been growing as always. In the period of the 1 year back, we had 20 different contributors. Our downloads on npm.js.com range in the magnitude of 120,000. And the highlights since the last report were tile rendering with WebGL, cloud-optimized geotiff support for the OGC API tiles, and decluttering not only per layer, but also per style.
Hello and greetings from the MapBender team. My name is Astrid Ende. I'm in the MapBender PSC, and I can report that we had a very active year for the MapBender project. We had a focus on bug fixes and element enhancements. So, for example, we worked on the digitizer element a lot and improved the functionality to edit data. We created several releases. At the moment, we are at the release 3.3.1 with Symfony 4.4, which was a big step for us to update the Symfony version. Then we had updates in the documentation. So the documentation fits now to the actual release, and we work on it regularly. And it's really fun to work with MapBender. Our next steps are to improve the front-end design and with a focus on mobile usage. And we would like to make a community meeting again to see our MapBender users in person or maybe online. That's all for the MapBender project. Hope to see you at FOSS4G.
Hi everyone. On behalf of the Map Server Project Steering Committee, I'm giving a quick update on the Map Server family of software. Map Server 8.0 has gone through beta release and testing, and we hope to have a release candidate ready in time for FOSS4G. Highlights include OGC Features API support, a new global Map Server configuration file, and a recent new addition is native flat GeoBuffer support. There have also been significant updates to MapScript and its documentation. There was a new release of Map Cache in March 2022 that allows for a Redis backend. For more news and details, please join us for the State of Map Server 2022 talk at FOSS4G.
Other.
This is the OSGeo Live project report. This year, we have been working on OSGeo Live 15. We have prepared release candidate 1 on time for FOSS4G. The final release is planned to happen on September. This year, OSGeo Live is based on Ubuntu 22.04, and we have been updating many software packages based on Debian GIS. All the new packages are also contributed back to Ubuntu GIS. This year, we include one new project, which is the ETF testing framework. As we did last year, we are providing two versions of the OSGeo Live. One is the Live ISO and the virtual machine version, which includes all the packages. We are committed in providing a platform for demonstration, educational purposes, and open data science. We need more project maintainers and translators to join our team. Thank you.
OSGeo community projects. Use spatial libraries.
The OWS Lib project is a long-standing Python client for ODC Web Services. It was started by Sean Gillies in 2005. In the last 12 months, most of the work has been focused around ODC API itself. So we've added a CQL or a Common Query Language client into the library, as well as an ODC API processes client. So as the ODC API specifications mature, OWS Lib is adding more and more functionality, so that people can leverage these new APIs. And the project has been participating in a number of OGC API sprints, including the joint sprint with OSGeo and the Apache Software Foundation.
This is the report for PG Routing 2022. We had 3 releases for the last 12 months, and we plan to release version 3.4 on the code sprint of the Phosphor-G. As every year, PG Routing participated on the Google Summer of Code program, this year with 3 students. The workshop is using data from OSGeo Live 15. We are applying to be on incubation, and our mentor is Angelos. We have our plans for the following 12 months, which include becoming an OSGeo project, participate in code sprints, and also continue our participation in Google Summer of Code. Spatial databases. Web mapping.
The PyGeo API project is an OGC API server reference implementation that has been in existence since 2018. In the last 12 months, we have a number of updates. We've participated in a number of OGC API sprints, along with other OSGeo projects. We've also applied for to graduate as an OSGeo project, thanks to our mentor Michael Smith. So we're just finishing that off as of today. There's also a pending a lot of work been done on OGC API routes. That's a routing API. So there's been a considerable amount of work using the PG routing backend to provide the OGC API routes interface in PyGeo API. We also have a new committer and team member. Joanna Simos from OGC has been added to the team, so that's been great. Welcome, Joanna. That was quite recent. As part of our incubation, we provided a service provider page for the community to look for commercial support for the project. And in the last 12 months, we've had a number of new deployments of the project and usage in other downstream applications. So usgeoplatform.gov, the GeoE3 activity from the EU, as well as WIS2Box, which is the WMO reference implementation for WIS2 data exchange. We have a number of other small enhancements, as you can see on the slide, and we're just coming around the corner for a 0.13 release, but we have had some releases in the last 12 months just the same. So I'd like to thank everybody in the PyGeo API community and looking forward to what the next 12 months provides.
Local chapters, regional or language groups operating at arm's length to promote OSGeo vision for open source.
And hello from Germany, Austria and Switzerland. My name is Jörg Thomsen. I'm the president of the German-speaking local chapter with a lot of very active members. It's about, more than 200 at the time. Okay, what's new in the last year? We meet again in person. We met again in person. We had a hacking event at the Linux Hotel in Essen, and there will be another meeting at the Linux Hotel in September to prepare the next German conference, which will find place next year. We had this year new elections for the board of the FOSS-GIS. Only one member has changed. New in our round is David Arndt from the Rhein-Ruhr-Verband, and Jochen has left the board. And our coordinating office in Berlin with Katja Haferkorn works great since now 2 years. A lot of work to do, a lot of contacts to to customers, to people who phone, who write mails with questions about OpenStreetMap and FOSS-GIS software. She is doing a very great work for us. We had a German-speaking conference this year. It was only online. It was in March. There were 651 sold tickets, 5 days full of talks and more than 20 workshops. Many of them were held with the OSGeo Live distribution. And that worked very well, I think, as I know. And after the official FOSS-GIS conference, there was a OpenStreetMap day on Sunday with a lot of talks and workshops. The next conference in Germany will take place next year in Berlin in March 2023. We will have a lot of tickets to sell. I guess it's about 5 or maybe 600 tickets for people who want to join us in Berlin. But we will do it as a hybrid conference, so everyone can listen to the talks and to the workshops from home everywhere over the world. And my last slide shows an event that takes place just now. It's the Bürgerfest of the President of Germany. I didn't find any translation on the website. It's a citizens' party of the President of Germany, Mr. Steinmeier, where we are invited to have a booth and tell all the guests what FOSS-GIS, OSGeo, and OpenStreetMap is working on what we can do for the society. It's a great event, I think, but it's just now taking place, and I can tell next year how it will be or was. Thank you, and bye-bye. Have a nice time.
Hi, I'm Nicolas from French Local Chapter. This year we organize the QGIS User Days in January, and we plan to do as well in 2023. There is no plan for local FOSS4J. We run a booth at Geodata Days in 2021, and we plan to do it in 2022. It's an event related to JS in France. We have volunteers who are working on a new website, thanks to them. And we also tackled most of the administrative issues we had last year, but there is a big one to tackle. Thank you, take care.
The Associazione Italiana per l'Informazione Geografica Libera, GFOS.it, founded in 2007 as an association of social promotion, has among its members professionals, public administration officials, academics, and aims to promote the development and dissemination of software for geographic information exclusively free and open source, and to promote open standards and free access to geographic data in Italy. Currently, there are 71 members with spread throughout the country, while the registered users of the public discussion list are about 738. Now we are working to finalize the new statute and the headquarters. This year, the association has attended the ASITA conference, the Italian Conference on Geomatics and Geospatial Technologies, organizing and managing 2 sessions related to free and open source software. Besides, thanks to the huge work of Luca De Lucchi and the help of lots of members and friends, the association has organized the Phosphor-G conference, which is held in Florence in mid-August. The main vehicle for achieving the association goals has always been the annual organization of GFOS Day, an event whose main purpose is to involve companies, public bodies, schools, universities, research centers, developers, citizens, professionals, and enthusiasts of terms of free geographic software and open data. Since 2017, GFOS Day has become Phosphor-G Italian and is organized together with the Wikimedia Italia, an association that includes the Italian OpenStreetMap community and the universities and institutions that host the event from year to year. The next year, 2023, we are planning to organize this national conference in Bari. All of you are invited to attend it.
Hi, I'm Jonah, the chair of OSGeo Oceania. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my respects to elders past and present. Last year, we held a hybrid Phos4G State of the Map conference. There were 7 in-person hubs across the region, from Tarawa, Kiribati on the equator to Hobart, Australia in the Southern Ocean, and across 7 time zones, from Australia to Samoa. About 200 people attended the in-person conference hubs, with another 200 people online. I'm looking forward to the next conference the Oceania chapter is organizing. The Pacific Geospatial Conference is in person in Suva, Fiji. I'm so excited to put on my Bula shirt. We're working with the Pacific Geospatial and Remote Sensing Council to deliver a joint conference, and I hope to see you there.
Hello, I'm Nobusuke, representative of OSGeo Japan chapter. I'd like to report our activity on in 2021. We have 615 mailing list subscribers, and officially organization member is 20, and individual members is 40. We organized 3 events. Phosphor-G Japan Online in December, online meetup in March, and Phosphor-G Tokai from August 10 to August 11. In addition, we have a collaboration with another association. For example, we have a workshop about the 3D Phosphor-G tools in the annual conference of GIS Association of Japan, and we supported Phosphor-G Asia 2021. We are preparing the Phosphor-G Japan event in this November as a hybrid event. We are looking forward to your participation. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick Bierman and I'm just reporting for OSGeo UK. So we've got 270 members on our mailing list, and our previous event was Phosphor-G UK 2020, which was now a couple of years ago. So that went really well. And we're now managing to arrange Phosphor-G UK Local 2022 on the 17th of November this year. So we've got 8 venues across the UK where we're meeting up and going to run our Phosphor-G UK event. Do check out the link or check out our website if you want more details. We also had an AGM back last year on the 27th of October, which was where I was elected chair. The minutes and so on for that are also online on the website. And we're due to have another AGM some point October this year. So we'll share details on that next year. Thanks very much.
OSGeo initiatives.
Hello everyone, my name is Rajat Shinde and I am going to present today the Google Summer of Code 2022 report for the OSGeo. Google Summer of Code initiative for OSGeo started in 2007 and this is 16th year of OSGeo participating in it as an umbrella organization. A brief stats mention that we had 7 accepted students who were coordinating with 14 OSGeo mentors coming from the projects PG Routing, Mapment and Zoo projects. The students are currently working on their code base and the final mentor evaluations is expected to be done between September 5 till September 12, 2022. The mentors would be submitting their final student evaluations by September 12 till September 19, 2022. The final results will be declared later on and Google Summer of Code 2022 Mentor Summit is yet to be declared. So what's new in this year of GSOC for OSGeo? So special GSOC session in the continuation of FOSS 4G 2021 is being scheduled for all the students where they can showcase their work and the OSGeo GSOC admins team is planning to participating in the Google Summer of Code organization highlights video plus community talks which is being organized by Google admins. So we congratulate all the students participating in GSOC for OSGeo and we heartfelt and we thank the mentors for their constant support and their hard work. Thank you so much.
Other initiatives. Geoethics represents an opportunity for geoscientists to become more conscious of their social role and responsibilities in conducting their activity.
Hello everyone, I am Sujit Anand and I would like to update you all on geoethics. In October 2020, I organized a think tank on data ethics to bring together representatives from over 20 organizations, from European Commission, the UK Cabinet Office, the World Bank, the European Space Agency, the Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data, the International Science Council's CoData, the Open Geospatial Consortium, the Open Source Geospatial Foundation, the African Academy of Sciences, and many others to explore ideas for building support for the Locus Charter, an international charter on the ethical use of location data. Following this data ethics think tank, it was agreed to keep continuing the geoethics discussions through the mailing list at OGC. I thank the Open Geospatial Consortium for making available geoethics list as an open public archive. If you are interested in geoethics, you are all welcome to join the OGC geoethics mailing list. I have also requested the Open Source Geospatial Foundation's board to join the Locus Charter. I really hope the OSGeo board will consider my request and join the Locus Charter. Thank you.
The Soul Katz Award for Geospatial Free and Open Source Software is awarded annually, normally at FOSS4G by OSGeo, to individuals who have demonstrated leadership in the GFOSS community. The hope is that the award will both acknowledge the work of community members and pay tribute to one of its founders. So who was Salomon Stuart Katz, aka Soul Katz? He was born in 1947 and died 1999 from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Saul Katz was an early pioneer of GFOSS. He was a very active member of the community. Saul left behind a large body of work in the form of application, format specifications, and utilities. For example, utilities to convert DEMs and read SDTS files. In the early 80s, Saul assisted in the development of a public domain GIS package called MOS, which is now an OSGeo heritage project. So let's remember Saul Katz and look forward to the 2022 award ceremony at FOSS4G.
We would like to thank you for staying with us for the annual general meeting, and we would like to invite you to join us at FOSS4G, where we are going to have a full hour of questions and answers about what you have heard in this video. Thank you very much for listening and hope to see you soon.